Let's face it, if one more person tells you to cut the latte to save money, you're going to scream, right? You're a savvy consumer, so you know that if you want to save money, you shouldn't be buying coffee from cafes. You should drop the cable and try to bring a brown bag lunch. But if you want even more ways to save, here are some creative tricks for you to try. When getting cash, bypass the ATM, go straight to the teller and ask for new bills. And while you're at it, get them in 50s. There's been a lot of research about how our brains interact with money, and this research has produced 3 key takeaways. First, we're more likely to spend with credit than with debit, and we're more likely to spend with debit than with cash. Second, consumers are more willing to spend old bills that look old and worn and crumply than bills that are new and crisp. And finally, we are also more willing to spend lower denomination bills than cash with a higher number on it. Why? It all comes down to how our brain conceptualizes money. You can literally see the cash leaving your wallet, which is why it can feel painful to spend those greenbacks, but much easier to swipe a piece of plastic. Moreover, that cash is easier to spend if it looks old and used. The crumpledness gives our brain a signal to discard the bill, and it's also easier for our minds to use a 5, 10, or 20 than it is to break a 50 or 100. That's because the smaller bills are the psychological equivalent of a petty cash account, and so spending them is more justifiable. So if you want to curb your spending, pair these findings together to put away the credit card, only withdraw cash that depicts Grant or Franklin, and if you can, ask for newly printed Grants and Franklins so it's doubly hard to spend them at will. Next, when looking for airfare, empty your browsing history. This is probably the easiest way to save money on airfare. Just clear your computer's browsing history in between price scans. Because of the cookies in your web browser, companies can see that you're looking for a certain trip, and they know you're interested, so you're a captive audience. Clearing that browsing history rids them of this knowledge. While it won't save you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, it should save you at least $50 per ticket. And finally, time your spending. Just as pumpkin spice lattes have a prime season, so do most consumer goods, and you can save bundles by timing your purchases around those seasons. Furniture and bedding, they're cheap in January. Coats, super affordable in March. And apartments are off-season in winter months and as much as 15% cheaper than they are in the summer. Scanning the web for coupons and deals sites should give you a really good idea of what to buy when.